Mizoram, Sri Lalremsanga.
I know what is expected of me. Let this ugly guy finish his speech quickly, and so on. But I am afraid I do not know how to make it any different, and I will be taking my full 10 minutes. And I will try my best to make conclusions for all what my other competitors have said in a very optimistic way. Respected members of the jury, my fellow competitors, and all of you who have gathered here today, sabiko meri aur se pranam. Main Lalremsanga, Mizoram se. Let me begin by asking a question. What makes us think that we are an Indian? What makes us? Is it because we are having the glaring trait of an Aryan running in us? Or is it because we are having the strong and sturdy figure of a Dravidian in us? No, that doesn't make us an Indian. Being an Indian is not determined by any physical feature. Well, look at me carefully. I am a Chinese-looking guy wearing a Nehru jacket, standing in the middle of the nation, speaking about patriotism and nation building. And I declaim that I'm a very proud Indian. Being an Indian is not determined by any physical feature. Well, there has been a lot of definitions being given on patriotism. But today, I want to give my own definition of patriotism, which is the love, respect, sacrifice, and effort we give for a place we call home. I believe all forms of patriotism would agree to that. Well, has it ever occurred to you, why am I doing this? Why is a teacher teaching? Why is a student learning? And why are our respected teachers and judges here judging us? Well, it all comes down to one thing. That is, we want to make contribution, no matter how small, in creating a better future. I believe that is the central theme of patriotism. And nation building. Nation building is all about ourselves. Nation depicting the people, and building depicting no other than creating the future of the people. Thereby, nation building simply means creating, shaping, and making the future of the people. We are an Indian because we are happy when we hear the news that Nirbhaya will be getting justice. We are an Indian because we are saddened when we hear the news that India's GDP has dropped to its lowest. Well, my dear ladies and gentlemen, that is patriotism working its way in today's world. It is something which we feel in our heart. Let me enlighten you further by making a quick clarification between nationalism and patriotism, which most people are confused with. Well, let me say, being a nationalist doesn't necessarily mean being a good patriot, but being a patriot always necessarily means being a good nationalist. And mark my words, patriotism and nation building are two things which are very related. Patriotism is the root for nation building, without which the sweet flowers of nation building would never bloom. There may be different forms of patriotism, be it economic patriotism, political patriotism, economic patriotism, whatever. I am not going to speak about that today. I am going to speak about patriotism in its basic sense of spirit and essence. Let me make myself clear by giving an allegory. Patriotism for us Indians is the love, respect, honor, and living up to the expectations of our glorious Tiranga. With its courage and sacrifice, Hamara Kesar Rang continually reminds us to not forget our Mahatma's courage when he initiated Namak Satyagraha in 1930 Dundee and the imprisonment which he faced thereafter. Such courage and sacrifice, that is what I define to be true form of patriotism. With its peace, unity, and truth, Hamara Safed Rang continually reminds us to believe in Safed Khadi ki masumiyat mein. That spirit of non-violence which had forced our forefathers to say big no to violent retaliation when they were subjugated. That spirit is still the same today. And it is a message from our Tiranga that such spirit is kept alive for the future. It is with that spirit of peace and unity that India is the only country having a statue of unity, a colossal 597 feet of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in Gujarat. It clearly hints that India is the first among equals to have patriotism, nation building, peace and unity as its sole purpose. Going on, with its faith and fertility, Hamara Hararang continually reminds us to have faith in our mother, our India, and all her children within. It also teaches us that when all about us are losing their heads, the faith which we have in our constitution will never be shaken and our mother will stand. We must be proud of our vast population and the productivity it could bring about should it be utilized wisely and efficiently. Let us not forget that we as a nation, we will prosper and develop and be safe for as long as only patriotism and nation building encapsulates us safely. And vice versa, patriotism and nation building will only flourish for as long as it only lives within our heart. It must begin from us. If not us, then who? I ask you. Now, let's come to this day. Most of the things which I just said are but rather a glorious past. Today's India is what our patriotic fathers had built off. What matters? What is the question now is, what will we do today? How will we build our nation? How will we create a better future for our generations to come? As rightly observed by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, in 2015 in Missouri, saying, Shilam Param Bhushanam, which means character is the prime virtue. It is with our characters that we will build a better India. It is with that we will do small good things for the country in the best way. That is what we will do. Not everyone can be Sardar Patel, nor everyone can be Mahatma Gandhi, nor is the country calling us to take up arms or die a martyr. No. What the country asks of us is simple. That is, we remain true to ourselves and thereby doing small good things for the country. That is what we must do. To name a few, our armed forces who are securing our borders are our nation builders. Our scientists who are the closest to soft land, Chandrayaan-2, in the dark side of the moon, they are our nation builders. That farmer who is toiling hard under the sun, who for the sake of the welfare of his fellow Indians refuse to use fertilizer, he is our nation builder. That young child who is studying for the sake of serving the nation one day, he is our nation builder. It is because she believes in nation building, courage and sacrifice that Vartika Singh, our ace shooter, write a letter written by her own blood to Union Home Minister asking to be the executioner of Nirbhaya rapists. It is because we believe in courage and sacrifice, peace and unity that we will fight, be it from the hills of Arunachal Pradesh to the valleys of Kashmir or to the coast of Kanyakumari. We will stand firm. Such patriotic actions had happened before, it is happening now, and it will always happen. Why? Because we are the patriots today. I ask you, I ask us, I ask all of us, even those who are seeing us through media, I ask us, aren't we the patriots of India today? Aren't we? Yes, we are. We very much are. And the spirit of patriotism and nation building burns bright within our hearts, and that flame will never be diminished, and our mother will not fall. She will be glorified to the top. She will be glorified and she will not fall. And recently, National Youth Day was celebrated, commemorating the birthday of Swami Vivekananda. And the central theme of that celebration was channelizing youth power for nation building. It clearly depicts what the nation expects from its 600 million youth. Yes, what has nation building asked of our youth today? What has it asked of me? Well, let me tell you. For us to build a nation, let us be the voice of that woman whose voice is unheard. Let us record every fault our fathers made so that we will not do the same tomorrow. Let us begin a change in our life so that the life of India could change. As you can see in the background, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas or Sabka Vishwas. For the sake of togetherness, let us sacrifice together. Let us suffer together. Let us serve together. Let us build India together. It's only with togetherness that we will build a glorious nation. Let me remind you that the small steps which we do today, are what our nation would be tomorrow. And I will end by reminding all my brothers and sisters throughout India that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one small step. Sabhi ko dhanyavad. Jai Hind.